So here in Kansas, as I'm recording this, it's finally starting to feel like spring. It's like 70 degrees today. That put me in the mood to make some flowers. So I figured today we're gonna make some chunky 3D flowers. So this is one of the flowers. You can see it's real thick and puffy. It makes these fun chunky things. Now these you could put like on a hat or a bow. I'm actually working on a wreath to show you guys how to do a fun summer wreath for your front door. But you can do these in all different sizes. We've got really big ones and then all the way down to these teeny tiny ones. We've got some in different colors, all sorts of colors and sizes. So to make these flowers, you're gonna need to know how to single crochet, bobble stitch, chain stitch, and slip stitch. Now, these are all really easy. If you've never done the bobble stitch before, I'm going to show you how to do it. It's super simple. And we'll do that real quick before we start, and then we'll put it all together and I'll show you how to make the flower. All right, so today we're going to make these big flowers here, these big chunky flowers. To do that, I've got big yarn. I've got the number 6 here, the number 6 yarn, and I've got a 6.5 millimeter hook. Now, again, if you are new to our channel, I will continue to espouse the awesomeness of this hook set that my husband bought me. It has all these different sizes and scissors and not those, these stitch markers. All of it was like $18. So I'll put the link below again, but it's amazing. So I promised I'd show you how to do all of these stitches real quick before we started. Very easy. So we are not making a flower. Let me make that clear. Right now, I'm just showing you how to make the stitches. So to practice our stitches, you got your slip knot here. Put your hook through here. To do a chain, all you're gonna do, yarn over, pull it through. Yarn over, pull through. Just like that. That's how you make chains. Very simple. Rewind if you need to, but that's all you're doing is just yarn over, pull it through. That's your chain stitch. If you want to do a slip stitch, all you do, stick it through that initial stitch, grab the yarn, pull it through your stitch, pull it through like that. We usually use these slip stitches as kind of a connecting stitch. So again, slip stitch, your hook is here. You go through whatever stitch it tells you to. Grab the yarn, pull through your work, and then pull through the stitch. And that's a slip stitch. Really easy. Okay, to do a single crochet. Okay, I'm gonna undo my slip stitch so I have flat again. Single crochet, all we're gonna do, you're gonna find wherever it says to start. I'm going to start in this one here. This is my work. I'm going to go through the top of that chain, yarn over, pull my yarn through, and now I've got 2 loops on my hook. Yarn over again and pull through both of them. That's a single crochet. So again, I'm just going to go through my work, pull the yarn through there. Now I have 2 loops on my hook, yarn over again, pull through both. That's how you do a single crochet. All right, so I made a foundation of single crochets to show you how to do the bobble stitch. And I apologize if you hear scratching in the background. We've got a foster puppy and she's being a little rambunctious today. All right, so anyway, to do your 3-loop bobble stitch, it's all about getting the rhythm down and getting the pattern down when you're doing it. So for the bobble stitch, you're gonna go yarn over, go through your work, pull the yarn up, and now see you've got these 3 loops on your hook. Every time you pull it up out of your work, you're gonna yarn over again and pull through the first 2 loops. So now that leaves 2 loops on there. So we're gonna do the whole thing over again. Yarn over, go through your work, pull up that yarn over and pull through those first 2 loops again. And now you got 3 loops left on your hook. So for the 3 loop bobble stitch, you're about done. You're going to yarn over one more time and pull through all 3. Now when you do a slip stitch in the next one, you're going to see it kind of makes it pop out like that. You get kind of a bubble. So again, same process, just yarn over through your work, grab that yarn, and now like I said, every time you come through your work, you need to yarn over and pull through those first 2. Now you got 2 on your hook, you're going to yarn over again, go down, pull it up again, yarn over, pull through the first 2, and now that you've got 3 left on your hook, you're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. So it's just repeating the same thing over and over. So I'm going to do a slip stitch here, and then I'm going to show you the 4 loop bobble, which is the same thing, only you do that process one more time. So you're going to yarn over, go through your work, pull it up. Again, we just pulled it up, so now you yarn over and go through the first 2. Now you've got 2 on your hook, yarn over, go through your work again. And when you go through your work, you're going through that same stitch every time. Now we pulled it up, so again, you know, yarn over and pull through the first 2. And now we've got 3 on our hook, but we're going to do it one more time. So yarn over, grab it, yarn over, pull through the first 2. And now we've got those 4 on our hook for the 4 loop bobble. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 4. And then when you slip stitch, you're going to see that when you turn it over, that 4 loop one makes just a little bit bigger of a bubble than the other 3. And so the way that this works with our flowers, the petals are actually made of these bobble stitches. So we'll do a 3 loop, a 4 loop, and a 3 loop to kind of give it that arched shape. All right, so now let's make a flower. Okay, so to make the flower, we're going to use yellow and we're going to do pink. And the way it works is you're going to start in the middle and go out. So whatever color you want in the middle of your flower, you're going to start with. And then after a couple rounds, we're going to switch colors to the color of your petals. The petals are the last thing you're going to do. So I want my inside to be yellow. Now, if you are a pro crocheter and you know how to do a magic ring, great, you can do a magic ring for this part. But I promised you, you only had to know 4 stitches. So we're going to do the chain method. So make your slip knot like that. Pull it tight. And then what you're going to do, you're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And now that you've got those 4 chains, you're going to take this one and connect it to this one to give you a loop. So all you're going to do is you're going to go through this first chain, grab your yarn, and you're just going to do a slip stitch. And that leaves you with a very tiny, but it is a circle. Okay, now you're going to do a single crochet, 5 of them, into the middle of this circle. So literally just into the middle. So just go through the middle, pull it up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's going to make the very center of our flower. And once you get those 5, you're going to count back, make sure you have the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And into this very first one, you're going to slip stitch into that to connect the 2 ends of your circle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to slip stitch into this single crochet here. Oh, my fingers are not working right today, sorry. Made it kind of tight. There we go. So slip stitch into that, pull it through, and there we go. So now you should have those 5 single crochets, and for each one, now you're going to put 2 single crochets in each of the 5, which means you're going to end with 10. Okay, so you're going to go around and put 2 in each. So you're starting with the one that you just slip stitched into. So 1, 2, and 10. All right, so now we've got our 10 and we marked where our first stitch was. Sometimes it gets a little loose. So we're gonna go right in here and slip stitch, but here's the thing, we're gonna change colors. So I'm gonna cut the yarn here. I'm gonna switch to my pink. So when I slip stitch, I'm gonna pull up the pink yarn instead, and that's gonna make it kind of a better transition. Okay, so you're gonna go through here. Pull through, and now you're gonna switch to your outside petals colors. So now you should have 10 single crochets all the way around, and in each of those you're gonna do 3. So 3, 6, 9, 12, etc., etc., and you're gonna end up with 30 stitches all the way around. So go ahead and do that, and you are still starting in the one you just slip stitched into. So 1, 2, okay, so now I just finished my 30th one, and I'm gonna slip stitch into the next one to close that loop again. But now this time I'm not gonna continue to stitch into that one. I'm gonna move to the next stitch. And this is where we're gonna start the pattern for the petals. So the pattern for the petals is basically gonna go 3 loop bobble, 4 loop bobble, 3 loop bobble to make that big or small, big, small to make the arc, and then 3 slip stitches into the next 3 stitches, and then do it again. We're gonna do that 5 times. So we're gonna start with our 3 loop bobble. So into this next stitch, make a bobble stitch. Okay, so we got our 3 loops, and we're gonna do that. And then into the next one, we're gonna do a 4 loop bobble. So now we've got the 4 loops, and we do the yarn over and go through. Then a 3 loop bobble into the next stitch. And then into the next one, we're gonna do a slip stitch into the next, and then the next 2 after that. So 3 slip stitches in between each set of petals, okay? And so then you can see when you turn it over, you get a nice big petal. So do that 4 more times. So you're gonna do 3 loop bobble, 4 loop bobble, 3 loop bobble, 3 slip stitches. And then just remember though, when you get to the very end here, you already slip stitched once, so you really only need to do 2 slip stitches at the end. Okay, so I just finished the last bobble stitch on my last petal. And so remember, you're only gonna do 2 slip stitches because you've already done one. 1, 2. Oh, split my yarn. Don't do that. So 1, 2. And now you're going to cut your yarn here and just pull through to fasten off. And then you've got your cute little flower. Now, my ends always end up on the wrong side. So what I usually do is I just take my hook and kind of pull through and then just grab them back to the other side. And then you can either weave your ends in, or if you're gonna use these for like an applique of some sort, if you end up with your ends kind of in the right spot for what you want, you can always use the ends to attach it to the hat or whatever you're going to put it on. But basically, there you go. Now you have a cute little 3D chunky flower.